So please open up your first string manipulation program in IDLE, and I'll tell you what it is. I'll go through it with you. It's just because, I mean, to save time, I've already made the code. And as I said, it's not logical that you type it with me or understand it. It's more what is available in the library, right? So string manipulation says what string functions are available in the library. And what is string? The text data that you work with. So you've been working with numeric and non-numeric data. Numeric means it could be an int, it could be a float, and anything that's non-numeric and you put in quotes becomes string data. Okay, as I do it, I'll also kind of introduce you to some more print statements or multi-line comments and so on and so forth. So if you open up IDLE and open up the string manipulation program, oh, there's another one. I did a phone number also. I'll give you that too. Okay, let's go through the program. So the aim of this program is to learn about various functions or methods that are available for the string object, right? Now, I'm using these terms, methods and functions. As a layman, I've explained to you that there is not much difference between them, but both functions and methods are independent codes with a name, with parameters, with return values that do a job, right? And the use of writing functions or methods is as simple as this. You say, that's your job. You designate it to do something, right? You say, that's your job. And every time I need your help, I'll call you. Every time I need your help, I'll call you, right? That's the whole purpose of writing a function that you've been doing in class. And I've been also doing in class, right? And again, that you will do also in your assignment, which is due on Thursday midnight, is it? The third assignment. I can't remember, so I won't say anything, but it is due sometime this week. So you're supposed to write two functions, and of course, then all that remains is calling those functions, okay? Again, I stress, if you're still finding difficulty in writing functions, come and see me. Last week, not a single student. I gave that week. I thought, you know, if you're having problems, come and see me. Nothing. I've again opened it up for this week till Thursday, I think, so that again, if you need to see me and ask me questions, you can come in my office hour and do that. So you have help. If you want, please come on and do it. It's, again, if you're helping each other, please understand that there is a fine line between helping and taking somebody's work and saying, this is my work, okay? So don't propagate wrong ideas or wrong solutions, because then what happens is, then I know it's all wrong, and I know that you've been kind of discussing it. So if you want, if you've done it, if you're stuck somewhere, if you need some help, silly questions, doesn't matter, want to come and see me, I'm again available in my 3 office hours on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 11 to 11:50 each day, okay? Today, if you like, I have a meeting at 12 and then at 12:30, but I'm again back in my office. I can be back in my office at 1 again. So 11 to 12, I'm there. Then I have a meeting from 12 to 1, and then I can be back again. So I'm trying my best to push you and give you the resources. The rest is on your attitude. If your attitude is, we are not programmers and you're not teaching us basics, then there is not much I can do. You have to learn it. I mean, either way. If you can do it now, you'll have to do it maybe next semester or the semester after that. So whatever. Maybe, let's see. So the aim is to teach you programming, but I can't teach you thinking. So logically, you have to think. That's your first step. Always think, what do I need to do? Write down those steps, jot down those steps, and then convert those steps into programming. So that's called pseudocode. So you write a pseudocode saying, oh, I want to input some numbers. After I have input some numbers, I want to put them in a list. Then I want to extract those numbers from the list and do some operations on the list. So you jotted down your steps. Similarly, in your assignment, I need to take a student number and his or her marks. I want to put those in a dictionary. When it's done, I want to pick up that dictionary, extract the elements from the dictionary, and I've given you very simple. I've just asked for the name and the average, nothing else, right? I've kept it really simple, nothing. But maybe what's simple for me necessarily may not be simple for you. So again, am I going the right way? Am I doing it the right way? If you need my help, please come and ask. There are tutors, you can take tutors if you like. There are online resources, thousands of them. Sure, go ahead and use them. But you need to understand what you are doing. At the end of the day, you have to know it. So do it. Right? There's no getting out of it. Okay, so now notice how I've started with a different kind of commenting today. I've used the 3 triple quotes, single quotes 3 times. This is called multi-line comments. Till now you were doing the hash, right? You were putting hash in front of each line and that became a comment. This is another way of commenting in Python. These are called multi-line comments. Multi-line comments means you want to do it more than one line. So instead of putting a hash in front of each one of them, you just start with quote, 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 do whatever you want to say, quote, quote, quote. That's taken as a multi-line comment. Okay, it's available. So why not? Here, you see it. Now, the purpose of this program that I've written for you is to show you the different functions that are available, or methods, I should say, for string objects. You've used a couple. You've used length, for example. It's also available in string. You've used lower to convert everything into lower. You've used upper to convert everything into upper, right? You can take a string, you can remove the blanks. So if I give a string blank, 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 Anju Chawla, blank, 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 you can remove the extra blanks from both sides. You can do a few things with strings. And therefore, in the library, there are so many string methods that are available and functions too. And the aim of this program is to introduce them to all of them. Again, I'll stick to introduction. I won't go into a lot of details. There are many things you can do with it, but at least if you're aware of what I can do, maybe when the time comes, you can use it. I could give you a whole assignment again, which says, okay, do this using string functions. I'll kind of restrict myself, and I'm thinking, and I'll put up an announcement, I'm thinking that I'll create a quiz on this. So multi-choice, true, false, fill in the blank kind of quiz on this, because it's all theoretical. And next week, when you come to class, the first hour, not the first hour, half hour should be good enough. The first half hour or 45 minutes will be your quiz, and that will count towards your assignment. Okay, so all you have to do is practice them. So while I do them today, please ask me questions if there is anything that's not clear. That's the best way to learn it. So when you do a quiz, keep in mind you have no resources. You know what I mean? You can't test it on the computer because you don't have time. What I'll allow you to do is maybe cheat sheets. I'll mix it. Multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blanks. I'll mix all of them, right? So there'll be questions of all kinds. I'll allow you cheat sheets, but cheat sheets doesn't mean you take a printout of my program and bring it, and then you're searching for your answers there. You'll never do it because time in a quiz is limited. That's the whole purpose. You have maybe 30 questions in 30 minutes, right? So you will practice it. Interactive shell will work too. Just practice them and then get prepared with them. I'll allow you cheat sheets, no problems, but then there will be no other resources. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking for strings and regular expressions. So that will take care of your assignments that you're not coding, but you're getting a different flavor of it. Okay, so that's what my aim is. So if I finish strings today, it will be fresh in your mind. I'll try to do the string quiz next week, the first thing when class starts. Okay, so pay attention what I'm doing and ask questions if required. And as I said, you can always open the interactive shell also and work with it. Okay, so I'll show you how to run it or what I've done. Okay, so that's multi comments. Now, what I'm saying here is I've done a print. Let me run it for you. And we've talked about this last week also. Escape characters, using escape characters in your print statements. So if in a print statement you want to print a single quote, how do you print it? You will say /quote and it will print the quote for you. Why? Because why am I escaping it? Because it has a special meaning. What's the special meaning? It is delimiting your print argument or your string also. You can put them in single quotes or double quotes. You'll say if I need a single quote inside, I'll put it in a double quote like I did. You can have double quotes in your print. But what if you need a double quote inside a double quote? You again escape it. You could do the opposite. Put your prints in double, put singles inside. Put singles outside, put doubles inside. But you're not kind of saying, making things work. You should exactly know what to do. So to escape the single quote or the double quote inside a print statement or a string, which is also delimited by quotes, just put an escape, a slash before it, and it will print it as per se. So we'll go one by one. So it says pay attention to the escape character in the following code of print functions. So see what I've done. We have been using single quote to delimit strings. I want to show that quote inside my print statement. Notice if I don't put the escape sequence, what happens? It's confused. It says, oh, your print statement ends here. What is this to delimit strings? It will give you a syntax error straight away. If I run this program now, it says invalid syntax. You didn't finish your print statement. Makes sense because you start with a quote and you finish with a quote. So it finished here. So if it finished here, then what's this that is following it? So if I want a single quote in my print statement, just escape it. That's escaped now. Now it will print it out for you. Let's test it now. And we'll only pay attention one by one. So notice it printed it out. So to print a single quote, put a backslash in front of it in a print statement. It will print it out. It will say, oh, you want to escape it. You don't want to use it as it is in its meaning of delimiting. You want to print it out. Just put it. And how do I put a double quote on something? Same way. You escape it. Okay. So I'll kind of go from one to the other. So I've given a print statement here where I wanted to show a single quote inside my print statement. I escaped it. I wrote a print statement where I wanted to show a double quote and I didn't have to escape it if I was using singles outside. I could have done this. No problem. It would have worked perfectly fine. There's no problem at all. It's all green. That means there is no syntax error. So you can put double inside single. You can put single inside double. But like, why should you try to say, but I mean, you should exactly know the right way of doing it so that you don't have to bother about remembering all these things. So all you have to do is, if you're using single quote and you want a single inside the string or your print statement, escape it. If you're writing your print statement in double quotes, you want a double inside it, escape it. Right? So now you know how to print a single quote inside a message, how to print a double quote inside a message. Let's look at a third escape sequence, \n. It says this will print the message in different lines by using \n. Now again, \n is an escape sequence. What does it do? As soon as it finds a \n in a print statement, it goes to the next line automatically. It's a new line character. It will automatically go in the next line. So instead of writing two print statements, you can write a single print statement and you can put backslashes wherever you want to break. That will work. So now if I want to show I'm using \n to do it, I put a backslash in front of it to escape it. That means don't do its job, just print it as per se. So now if I do this and you look at the output, where is the output here? So notice we have been using single quote to delimit strings. How did I get this printed? \single quote. We can use double quotes to delimit strings too. How did I get this? By saying \double quote. How did I put this in two different lines? There was a \n after this. So it went to the second line automatically. As soon as you put \n in a print statement or in a string, it will automatically go in the next line. Right? So to delimit strings, these are strings. What you put in print statements are strings, right? When you put them in quotes, they are strings. So how did I get this in two lines? How did this happen? Go to the code. What did I do? I used \/ in my print statement. What does \/ do? It's a new line character that will automatically go to the new line, go to the next line, go to the next line, go to the next line. And how did I show you what I used? I showed it by again escaping my \n. So it shows you, oh, she used \n to escape it. So this was printed by escaping it, putting a \/ in front of it. If I hadn't, it would go to a new line. Okay. So these are escape sequences. There are more. There is a \t for tab. Okay. There is a \/ to print a \. There is a \dot to print a dot, and so on and so forth. You'll learn more of them. Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing. So these are clear. Now, we have only been writing print statements using a single quote, and sometimes my print statements go out of the screen and you're not able to read it. Now there is another way of printing, which is starting with a triple quote and ending with a triple quote. The advantages: one, it formats it as you want it. So what did I do? It will exactly write this in 3 lines. Using triple quotes in print function allows one to create multi-line messages. It will exactly write it like you've written. So triple quotes allow you to print as you want it. You'll say I can use \n. So of course you could have used \n, but this is another way of doing it. So you see it as it will appear on the screen. So start with a double quote, end with a double quote. So you've seen triple quotes. You've seen 2 uses of triple quote already: multi-line comments and multi-line prints, right? See what will happen if I do it. Let me put this down. Show you the output. Here it is. This is the output of that triple quotes in the print function. Whatever you put in the print function, when you use triple quotes, it will just spit it out as you've written it in your print statement. So now it's easy to kind of write it in multi-lines. So there are 2 ways of putting output statements in multi-line. \n will create a new line automatically, or use triple quotes and just write them in lines as you want. Whatever makes sense to you, both work. So you've learned this new again today. So what I've done is, this was the main purpose. I've done this because all it was print, print, print. So, and you can try this on your interactive shell also. Triple, 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 start typing in different lines, triple, 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 it will just print it. All print statements that I've written here can be tried on the interactive shell. Okay, but I thought this was just easier because then we are not wasting time typing. Okay, now let's go and look at the string methods or functions that are available. What would you like to do with the string is the first thing. You'll say, why are we even learning these functions? Suppose you've put a name, you've asked a person's name, Anju Chawla, and you know between Anju Chawla there is a blank. You want to pick up Anju separately and Chawla separately. It can be done. You can slice your string on the blank, right? You want to know what's the length of your student number. You can do it using a function or a method. You want to remove the extra blanks in front or back or both ends in a string. So you ask for a user's name, please input your name, and the user, for the heck of it, goes blank, 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 Anju Chawla, blank, 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 written. So now your string has extra blanks on either sides. If you want to remove it, which you should, you have a method to do it. So now, because we do a lot of things with strings, we just don't take input and then spit it out. We may work with them, we may manipulate them. So now we are going to learn a few functions and methods that work with strings. Some of these may be familiar because we've done them in lists also. Okay, now let's see. What have I done? I've taken a variable called greeting and I've put hello world in it. Just a variable of type string because I've assigned a string value to it. Now I've printed it out for you so that you can see what the greeting is. Now I want to look at the first character. All you say is greeting 0. Like you did in a list. When you say list 0, it gives you the first element. This is giving you the first character. I'm saying show me the 5th character. Remember, it starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically the 5th character. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. O should be the output. So the output should be H, should be O. What does greeting -1 do? Right from the right, the first character from the right. So once you have a string variable, you can look at each character if you want. You can put a for loop and print them all out one by one. So how do I do it? It's a string. It's not a big job at all. See, I'll do it for you. So I've shown you the greeting like this. Use a for loop. For I in greeting. What do you want to do? 1 per character, right? Print. What do you want to print? The value of I. This one will show you in one line. This will show you the characters. Each character one per line or 1 character per line. That's what it will do. I've used a for loop. You've seen this loop before. So what am I saying? Go through my greeting. It's a variable. Go through it. Look at each character one at a time and split it out. So it will say HELLO blank WORLD exclamation mark. That's what you will get with it. Let's try it. So here is what we were doing, right? Till here we had done it, multi-line. Indexing and slicing strings was just a heading. This is how I printed out my string, just by a print statement. Now I used a for loop to print out each character of the string, which means you can manipulate any character of the string. And how do you use it? By using those square indices. And I'll show you. But here I just used a for loop. I used a for loop. So it picked up one at a time, one I at a time. So this is a for loop. It's actually an enhanced for loop. It picks up one character at a time automatically from the greeting and it spits it out. This is an enhanced, it's a smart one, right? But if you're only interested in looking at a character, like the 0th character, the first one, or the last one, or the 5th one, you can do that too. And notice I've used square brackets. So is H the first character? Yes. Is O the 5th character? Greeting for me is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yes. Is the last character the exclamation mark? Here, so count here. So is this the first one? H. The 5th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one is called greeting 4 because the indexing starts from 0. So this is called an index. Put your index in square brackets and get any value you want. Of course, if you try to say, give me greeting 19, it will come up with an error. It doesn't, there is no greeting 19. Then you will say, oh, what do I do then? Put it in a try except clause or look at the length. You can't go beyond the length, right? So those error checkings we've already done. Okay. Okay. So let's come back again here. So greeting 0, notice how I've picked it up. I've used the square brackets and the 0 is called an index. But if I try to do something like this, I say minus or I say 100, which is wrong. Is there a greeting 100? Nope, I should get an error. Let's run it. There, it says you're out of bounds. Makes sense, right? So you'll say, but then how do I know? Put it in a try except block. I could take this whole program and put it in a try except block. And anything wrong, I'll catch it. So I'm doing everything right because I'm trying to show you what I'm trying to do today. But all I'm doing is you can do whatever you like. So if something is wrong, I can put this in a try catch block. And how do you put something in a try catch? Start with a try here, all the code in try, and then put your catches at the end. That way you're safe. Any kind of error will be caught. Do you want to try it? It's not a big deal at all. So we'll take everything from here. I've written everything here, right? I don't know till where. So let's do a control A, right? I'm going to indent this code. Now, I'll take this back just because it's kind of a comment. I'll put a try here. There is where my try starts, right? Where does it end? It ends when my program ends. So my try ends here. After the try, what do you put? Except clauses, right? Now, there could be many kind of errors that can occur in my code. I've used indexing, I've used some methods and so on. So I'll just put a generic one. I'll say except and I'll print a statement. I'll just say some error occurred. But of course, it's not the best way. But at least the program will not break. I won't see those red squigglies. That's how you use a try except. Put all your code in a try. Any problem, it will go to the except and it will do what you say. So we saw an error. The error we saw was what? It was index error. So if you knew it was an index error, I could say except and I could put the index error here. I know it's an index error. Right? And then instead of saying some error occurred, what would I say? I'll say a better print statement. I'll say print out of bounds access. That's what you've done. You've gone out of bounds in a string, right? And in this one, I'll create another except. I mean, as soon as I keep getting excepts, I'll keep adding them here. So that's the use of try except, catching your exceptions. These are called exceptions. Now try that 100 that we did and see the difference. I know it is wrong, but let me try it. So before, when I did this, what was I getting? My program stopped. I got an error. Of course, you got an error. You were going out of range and the program stopped abnormally. Now see the difference between it's how it works now. Let's try F5. It's saying, but it did stop. It can go further because you made a mistake. But what is it saying now? Out of bound access. So instead of that red, you have an error message. So you know, oh, the error occurred somewhere. But of course, this is such a big program. You'll say, where did the occur? Where did the, I could make it better. I'll say out of bound access in greeting. Then it would be better. So your error messages are useful. For whom? For you, for the programmer. So when a programmer writes code, he or she ensures that the program runs perfectly. And then it floats into the market. You just can't give crap to the public. You can. Think about it. Will you take crap from anybody? No. You want perfect programs. You want perfect games. You want perfect cars. You want everything to be perfect. So how can you do out of this? So I just added a try except. And again, I don't know where the error is occurring because the program is so big. But of course, when you write a good program, which of course will take time, I can say error out of bound access. Or you can say index out of bound. But then it's something that programmers understand. I can do this to me and you. I think we understand what it means, but maybe not to the common man. But remember, try excepts are written so that you test your code under all circumstances and it should work. The users should never see them, never see these errors. Right? So I'm getting that error, which looks good enough. Now my program doesn't stop abnormally. It stops normally, but where does it stop? It stops right here. It stops right here. It doesn't go further. That's what happens with Python. Wherever it finds an error, it will stop right there. It's an interpreted language. It's called an interpreted language. It's trying to do one line at a time, compiling it, executing it, compiling it, executing it, changing it into machine language, executing it. Finds an error, stops. So I'll remove that 100, but I've shown you. All I did was what? We've done try except. I put it in a try except block. So you have to learn to do things. And you cannot do them unless you practice them. And whatever you've learned from day 1 will carry on till week 14 of your semester. You incorporate it, you use it every time you do something. So now we know how to access each element of a string. Also, we know that if you want to print 1 per line, you can use a for loop. We already know what a for loop is. Okay. Now, if you want, it's not necessary that I only do a print. You can assign it to a variable. What have I done here? I've taken starting from 0. This is called slicing. Okay. So therefore, the heading was indexing and slicing. I wrote it somewhere here, indexing and slicing. So this is indexing. What you see here is indexing. So if you want to put a note for yourself, we are using an index to find an element. And what is this? This is I'm slicing it. Slicing means like normal word slice. You're picking up a slice out of it. So it says pick up a slice for me. What is that slice? 0:5. So you take the string and in square brackets you give the lower bound and the upper bound. So you're saying slice my greeting. I want you to pick up the letters at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not the 5th one. It stops 1 before the 5. So what will print is what? HELLO. Hello should print. Those are the first 5 characters. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just showing you that you can slice, you can put it in a variable. Not everything is a print. You may need to. You put it in a variable and you print it out. Or if you like, you can print it out as per yourself. Now, is it always necessary to give the lower and the upper one? So if you don't give the lower one is 0. If you don't do it, you can do without it. Oops, I haven't. So make that change, please. I wanted to show you that you don't have to give 0. You can remove the 0 and it will still work. You can just give the dot 5, the colon 5. So extract characters from 0, which is the default start position, to 4, and it is greeting. You don't have to put 0. So this is showing you, it will print it for you, and this is doing it. Automatically, if you don't put the first bound, it is 0. You can do the same with the second bound also. You start with 6 and go until the end. So slicing can be done in many ways. You can exactly say what I want. I want characters 7, 8, 9, 10. So how will you write your slice? 7 means 6. So from 6 to 10, 6, 10 will give you 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is called slicing. You're picking up a slice from a string. Very handy when you work with text data. Very handy, right? So you're looking at some MAC address of a machine. You're interested in maybe the last 2 digits, like your credit cards. Think about it, like your credit cards. When you pay by your credit cards over phone, they always ask you, can you tell me the last 3 digits of your number? So if they if it was in a program, I'll put it in a string and I'll extract the last 3 digits. Again, I'm extracting something, I'm slicing it. Okay, so you'll say, but how do I know what's the length? Use length on it, you'll know how much it is, and then you will know, oh, this is the last 3 characters. So it's all logical. Programming is logical. You have to put your brains in it. It's not as if you won't practice it and you will get it. You won't. You have to practice it. And if you're a new student, definitely you will have to practice it in 10 times maybe. Okay, now let's see what are the answers of this. We'll try to see the answers still here. Right? The first 4 characters should give me hello. The first 5 characters, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 should give me hello. Till the 5th, I should again get hello. Starting from 6th, it should be world with an exclamation mark. Let's run it. And we'll only concentrate on what we are looking at. So bringing your notice to what we just talked about. There it is. First character is H. The 5th character is O. But you have to access the 5th character using greeting 4. The -1 gives you the rightmost character from the right. The slicing 0 to 5 gives you hello. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stops at 4. If I don't put a 0, so this one was showing you by using a variable name. This was just printing it out. If you don't want to give the first one, it is automatically taken to be 0. So 0 to 5. If you don't give the second one, it is taken till the end of the string. There is your slicing. You can pick up substrings from a string. Will come handy sometime. Right? So unless you know them, how will you use them? So I would have preferred to write a program and do it. But again, I'm kind of taking a back step just because students are not, just advice from students. So maybe this will help you just doing maybe something that you can handle and we can do a quiz on it. But you know what? Programming is programming. Programming is just not doing this and saying, oh, I know how to program. It's writing code to do something. So you may need it somewhere, but now you know that I can slice a string. Okay, let's go back. Now, multi-line comments again. I've shown you a few. They're called methods. Is alpha numeric, is decimal, is space, is title. And then I've also shown you an in and a not in operator. And I haven't given examples, which I'll say. It says these expressions test whether the first string, the exact string case sensitive, can be found within the second string. So for example, if I wanted to do something like this, let's try it. I'll use the if statement. If Anju, right, is in, oops, oh God, is if the string Anju is in Anju Chawla. The brackets are not necessary. You can if you want. If Anju is in Anju Chawla, that means You're checking whether a string is available in that string. So print present. I'm just kind of giving an example. Else print not present. I'll give you a good example that we can do with this. Student numbers. All the students who have joined the college in winter of whatever 2018, all your student numbers start with 2003. So suppose I had a list of my student numbers, all mixed, first semester, second semester, third, fourth, and so on, whatever. And I'm only trying to pick up all those students who are in the current second semester. All I'll do is if 2003 in the student number, whatever variable has the student number, instead of strings, I can use a variable. Then I'll say, oh, this is my student, I'll spit out their student numbers. That's how you will use in. So you're trying to check, are you in that string? Right? So the in and the not in, they're called operators. They're not functions or methods, they're operators. They're just like, you use them all the time in the for loop. So you're saying if Anju in Anju Chawla, it does an exact match, case sensitive. So I can't say small a will say not present, capital A, it has to be that. So if Anju is in Anju Chawla, print present, else print not present. Let's see if it works. And we'll only concentrate on present. There, the answer is present. That's the in operator. So if you were looking for something in a text string, and you don't want to read it manually, you just want to check if it's in there. All you do is use the in operator and say it's in there. There it is. Right? So that's the in operator. And similarly, there is a not in operator, but it is case sensitive. So now instead of just saying present, I can say, I mean, this is hard coded, but I can say Anju is present in Anju Chawla. Right? If I say not in, all I have to say is not in. Then I just kind of reverse my message. I'll say not present and else I'll say present. But it's like the same thing. You can use in or you can use not in. But if I do a small a here, see, I'm not present. You'll say, but Anju is present in Anju Chawla, but this is case sensitive in. It is a case sensitive search. So now you know of another function, or sorry, another operator that you can use with strings. You're looking for something. It's a 100-word essay. I'm just looking for the word, I don't know, excellent. I don't want to read through it. I have a small code. I write a small Python program. I read that file, which we haven't yet done, but we'll learn how to read from files. See if excellent is present there. I'm done. My job is done. That's what programs are for, right? That's why you automate things, because they're quicker and they can do the same job over and over again without complaining. Human beings will complain. Of course we will. I give you a page to read and I say, look for the word excellent. How many times does it occur? You're not going to like it. But if you write code, won't even be 10-line code. It will search for all excellence and it will count them for you. That's why we automate. Everything has to be automated. Whether it's networking, whether it's any application that you're trying to write. Don't you look around you? Everything is automated. You go to the bank, you want to withdraw money, you go to the ATM machine. So there is a software program that's behind the scenes that is written. So you punch your number, it takes that number, it validates it. Yes, you are the right person. And then it gives you the money. If your code is wrong, it doesn't. What about your password and username? The process is automated. So your username and your passwords are somewhere, they're saved somewhere in a file or in a database. You input them, they are checked against something. If yes, you're allowed to log in. If not, it says incorrect password or username. So it's all there. So unless you learn how to do it, how will you automate your life? So you have to do it. You can't escape it. So that's in. I didn't give an example of in because it was easy, but there it is right now. And not in also works the same way. Right? It's just the opposite of in. Now, what I've shown you here is a few methods. We've done lower and upper many times. They return string values. So if I wanted to just print upper of something, like here, notice what I've done. I've taken a message, hello world, right? And I've shown it to you what the message is. Then I print the message all in uppercase. What do? Message.upper. I call a method that is available. It's called the upper method. It's a method. You say string name dot the name of the method. It will print everything in uppercase. If I want to print everything in lowercase, use the lower method. You can check if something is in lower or upper. There are another two functions. Is lower, is upper. It will return true or false. Let me show it to you. So let me give you something here, as easy as this. Let's print it. Anju Chawla is all lower. I want to see true or false. Is it all lower, right? So what will I do? I'll use that method called is lower. And it will give me true because it's all in lower. So you want to check a string is all lower, you can do that. You want to check something is in all upper. Let's just change all upper. Now, if I say all upper, it will of course give me false. So let's try. Is it all upper? They return true or false values. Notice how it says it returns a true or a false Boolean values. So you will see it will say true or false. Okay, let's try it. Only concentrate on lower and upper now. Okay. Here. Let's start from, this is the input we are interested in. Oh, Anju Chawla is all lower is giving me an error. It should say true. Okay, we'll double check what I did. Okay, so the message was hello world. I converted into all uppercase. It became hello world, all uppercase. I converted it into all lowercase. It became all lowercase. Anju Chawla is all lower should give me true. So let's see what mistake I made. Let's go back to the program. Must have done something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe blanks are not allowed, but that doesn't make sense. They return true or false, which is fine. If that's the case, blanks are not allowed, that would really be odd. But anyway, let's try it. It's giving a wrong answer. Is lower should give me true, right? Message is, oh God. I'm working it on message. I'm not working it on Anju Chawla. I'm working it on message. Of course, that's not all lower. I said message is lower, right? So Anju Chawla is all lower means, so let's put Anju Chawla in something. Let's take a name variable, put Anju Chawla in it. And I'll just put it in all lowercase. Here, right? And now see the beauty of it. I don't even have to say Anju Chawla here. I'll use the variable name here. You'll say, what's the beauty in it? The beauty is it's not hard-coded. You can change the name to Ken and still the same program will work. You can change the name to Rick and it will still work. To Oleg, it will still work. To Stephen, it will still work. So therefore, instead of hard coding, you can change the data here. And then you can still. So is the name all lowercase? Is Anju Chawla all lowercase? Now here, instead of message, which variable should I be using? Name. Is Anju Chawla, again here, I won't say Anju Chawla, I'll say name. Is all lower, and here I should be using name. It was giving me the right thing. Hello world is not all lower, and hello world is not all upper. So it was giving me false, which was right. But I want to check if my name is all lower. So the first print statement should say true, and the second print statement should say false, because my name is written in all lowercase. I don't think digits matter. I'll try. I don't think digits play a role, but we can try. Okay, that's a string. Anju Chawla 1, 2, 3 is a string, but there is nothing upper or lower in strings. Okay, so Anju Chawla 1, 2, 3 is all lower, is true. and Anju Chawla 123 is all upper is false. Make sense? So digits are ignored. Digits are ignored. So let's kind of make a note for it if you want, right? So I'll kind of put a colon here to make it neater because the true false was coming. We'll put a colon here to make it neater. You can put a note for yourself. Digits are neutral, if you want to say. They are neither upper nor lower. You know what I mean? So they are just lower. I mean, it's kind of odd because digits don't have an uppercase and a lowercase, but we found out that digits are lowercase. It was giving me true. Anju 123 was giving me true. So digits are lowercase. So there's another function now. You know the upper function, you know the lower function. Method, sorry. And the difference is, how do you know it is a method? A method will have the name of the object dot the name of the method. Now, what is this object? Object is just an entity. So string is an object. Till now we were calling it data type, but it's an object. Object means a type, means an entity, right? So name is lower says true, name is upper gives me false. Message to upper converts everything in message to upper, message to lower converts everything to. So you have 4 new methods from the string. So you can index a string, you can slice a string, you can check whether it is lower or upper, you can convert it into lower. Right? So all this you can do with strings or like whatever you want. Let's go further now. What I did was, so that you didn't forget your whiles and fors, I kind of did a little bit of programming here. What am I doing here? So I'm using these. I've mentioned a few functions here, methods here. Is alpha returns true if the string consists only of letters and is not blank. So if your string is not blank and it only has letters in it, A, B, C, D, whatever, small or big, then is alpha will give you true. Is alpha numeric if consists of letters and numbers and is not blank? So a blank string will always give you false. But if you're saying, does my string have numbers and letters? You can check with is alpha numeric. That's the method. Is decimal returns true if the string consists only of numeric characters. Only of numeric characters. So integers. You can put a decimal point, you can't put the minus. Is space returns true if the string consists only of spaces, tabs, and new line. So you're basically checking, are you empty? Is title returns true if the string consists only of words that begin with an uppercase. Oh, I can show it to you here. This is a title. Every word starts with a capital letter. So if you want to print it out, let's do it. Here. So print. We can use another method. So you can say message. The variable was called message. Message is a title. Title means, like in English grammar, title means every word starts with a capital letter, right? And what method will you use? With message, you will use a method is title. There. It will say true. Why? Because hello world, every word starts with a capital letter. This is called title case, just for information, also called proper case. So you have an uppercase, you have a lower case, and you have a proper case. Titles are always written in proper case. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to it, but every time you see a title, they're all written in this case. Every word starts with a capital letter. So output and inputs, like, they're important. So now let's run it again. But I'll show you the is title. So I've just used is title. Now let's use a few things. I haven't used all of them, but a couple. And again, using a while loop. I take a variable called flag and assign it the value false. And I'm saying while the flag is false, keep on doing this. What am I checking? I'm checking, give me your age. What am I expecting from the user? A number. Ages are not negative. Ages are not points, 3.5 or whatever. But I've taken raw input. Notice I haven't converted it into an int or anything. I've just taken it to be a string. But I can do this. If the age is decimal, flag becomes true. That means, oh, you've given me the right value. If not, I'll say, please enter a number for your age. This is another way of checking whether something is integer or not. but only positive integers. I can do negative here. So which method am I using? Is decimal. With what am I using? The variable called age. What is age? Something that you are taking from the user. So this loop will keep on executing till you give a positive integer. If you give anything else, it will keep on asking for your age. But only a positive integer, nothing else. Look at the second one. I did another one. I again made flag false because it may have become true. And now just to show you, this shorthand flag is equal to false can also be written as not flag. In our usual life, we don't say if raining is equal to false to say if it is raining or not. We say if not raining, right? So instead of saying if flag is equal to false, you can write it like this, if not flag. This means flag is false. This is the shorthand of flag is false, which means the true one is if flag. So you can say if flag is equal to true, or you can say if flag. Like when we talk normally, do we say if raining is equal to true? No, we say if it is raining. Do we say if raining is equal to false? No, we say if not raining. So in programming also, you can say if not flag. You're basically saying is flag false. And if you remove the word not, and if you say if flag, you're checking is flag equal to true. So there's the shorthand is not flag for false and flag for true. Okay, so what am I saying? I'm taking a password from the user. And I'm saying only letters and numbers are allowed. So when you take a password from the user and you say only letters and numbers are allowed, what do? I use the method is alphanumeric. It can only contain letters and digits, nothing else. And it cannot be blank also. Try giving a blank and it will say it's invalid. If you give me a right password, then the flag will become true and I'll be out of the loop. I'll exit the loop. Else I'll keep on asking. Let's try this. Make sense? So anywhere and everywhere, you will need to use whiles and fors and if statements. Like you can't escape them. That is basic programming. Basic programming is not just taking input and showing output. In basic programming, I've mentioned 3 pillars of programming. You should know how to write it logically. That's something I can teach you. You have to know how to do it. 2, decision-making statements, the if statement. And 3, iterative statements, while, for. If you know these three pillars, you can write code. But of course, with practice. Right? And it doesn't come in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So, and you have to learn it. So I can only help, but if I haven't seen any student coming for help, and a student who was complaining day and night came to me and I said, okay, show me what programs have you practiced in this 8 weeks that you've done in this semester. Not a single one. I've just done programs that you do in class. Will you ever learn from it? No. What's your name? Artem? Artem came to me and he had been practicing so much that he was doing stuff I hadn't done in class. So he was going to all websites trying to learn from websites. And he brought a program to me and it looked quite good. I don't know how it is. I haven't marked it. But he was doing things I haven't done in class. And I'm saying, Artem, don't go too far. This is new for you. Go slow and steady. But he's practicing. 3 hours in class, 6 hours outside class is what you need if you're new to programming. I said that in my first week. And many of you are doing well because you're practicing, hopefully. That's what is the result. A couple of you already are programmers, but that's only a couple of you. All of you are new to this. And Artem has shown such a big improvement. And the onus is on him. It's all his credit. It's not my credit. I'm doing my job. But he goes home and then what I've done, he tries to look for more examples out of it. Is he taking the web's help? I don't know. Is he taking somebody's help? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's learning. So he's doing something. Instead of blaming me, right? He's not blaming me that she doesn't do anything, but he's practicing with me. And that's what I do. I do something for you in class. That's not the end of it. You have to go home and do more. If you do it, you will shine with bright colors in my class. I don't ask anything extra. Hardly ever. Especially with you guys, I'm so slow. Like I'm slow, but maybe I should be slower. I'll try to remember it next time. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, so where were we? We are, remember the title case? Hello world is a title. I added it. There it is true. It is a title. Every word starts with a capital letter. Now here is enter your age. Now what is it expecting? Only numbers. Let me try. Nope. It says, please enter a number for your age. So it again asks, it gives me a message. I can put a word error in front of it to make it more clear. It again says, enter your age. Okay, can I enter -12? Nope. Can I enter 3.5? Nope. Can I enter 50? Job done. So is decimal is a method that is looking to see that your input contains only digits. Only digits. Nothing else. You can't give negative numbers, you can't give a point. So it's another way of validating your input for integers. Though we use the input, the int function, and then we put it in a try except. But there's another thing. If that's all you needed, we could have said is decimal. But keep in mind, I read it as a string. The 12, the -12, ASD are all strings. I cannot do math with it. To do math with it, I have to convert it into an int and then I can do math with it. But it is a string. It's not an integer. Why? Because the input, the function that you've used here, what function have you used here to read it? Input. You didn't convert it into an int. So please keep in mind, make a note for yourself. Age is a string. Because I'm just using input. I'm not saying, I'm not converting into int, but then if I wanted to, I could just convert it into an int by putting int age and then use it as a number. Here we'll just say error or we'll say incorrect or invalid. We can say please enter a whole number, whole positive number. Actually, I could have taken this, please enter a whole positive number for your age and put it right there in my input. That would be a good thing to do instead of just saying enter your age, because that's an incomplete message. So please enter a whole positive number for your age. How clear can I be? But if the user doesn't do it, then, so here I don't have to repeat it now. I'll just say invalid input. See, I can save myself a little. So now my message is complete. Please enter a whole positive number for your age. User doesn't give it, it will print invalid input and ask again. Invalid input and then ask. Let's look at the second one now. The second one is asking is, so what did you use? Which method did you use? Is decimal. With what did you use it? Age. What was age? A string variable. Age is a string variable. So is decimal is a method that you can use with a string. Let's look at another one I've used. Is alphanumeric. Is al for alpha, alphabet, letters, num for numeric. So all you can enter is letters and digits, and blanks are not, like a complete blank. Of course, you can put a blank in between, but otherwise blanks are not allowed. Let's try it. Okay, so if I put a whole, I entered nothing. See, it says invalid input. I can't put blanks in my age. Blank is not allowed. So if I put 1, 2, blank 3, now that's not a number. It will still give me invalid. It should only consist of numbers. Okay, done. Now it's asking for a password. And it says it should only be letters and numbers only. So let's not try to put anything. It says it is invalid. Can only have letters and numbers. Let's try to put 1, 2, blank FG. It says no, only letters and numbers are allowed. That's how it is. That's how it works. You can change it. Is alphanumeric works that way. right? Now I can go whatever, Anju 123. This will work. And then of course the rest is moved out. So I've shown you an example. I've shown you 4 of those methods. We've done is upper, is lower, is title, is alphanumeric, is decimal. There are a couple of more. I'm sure you can do it. There is only an is alpha. It will only return if you have letters. And then there is space, which I haven't done. But you know what? If I've done 4, you can always try 2 more on your own. But you should know how to use them. So I have put it in a variable hello world here and used it. You could have written that right here. You could have written hello world in quotes right here. But it's not a good habit. Why? Because it becomes hard-coded data. Here, if I want to change hello world to something else, I'll just do it here. Otherwise, if I had written it instead of messages, see, I have to do it at 3 places. Why would I do that? So use variables, put values into it, and use those variables. Don't hard code values. Therefore, we take input from the user. If I say add 2 numbers, I'll take the 2 numbers from my user. I won't say number 1 is equal to 5, number 2 is equal to 7, and my calculator only does 5 plus 7. Would you like to buy a calculator that can add only 2 numbers? Just exactly 2 numbers, nothing else? No. You put a number into the calculator, you go plus, you put another number and it gives you the result. Your programs have to be interactive the same way. You take input from the user to make it interactive and then give a result. Input changes, result changes. Input is invalid, tells you it is invalid. You go garbage in, garbage out. Otherwise, your program will keep on working. Remember how we put everything in a big while loop? While the user says, I don't want to quit. Keep on doing it. Think about it. You're driving a car, right? You want to drive the car till you decide to stop. You can't say, drive, next second, drive, next second, drive. You don't want to do that. So just keep going on. Same thing with programming. That's why we make our programs interactive. You want it to run till the user says, I'm done. Therefore, we put loops. So everything that is done in programming has a logical reason to it. And programming is all about logic. And believe it or not, networking is also all logic. You should know which wire to connect to which wire. Like, so if you have to learn that, you have to learn programming also. You can't escape it, guys. I'm repeating it, you can't escape it. Maybe you can escape me by dropping the course and maybe get somebody who's more lenient. Sure, that's fine. And maybe you don't want to be a programmer. That's fine too. But the onus still lies with you. You still have to do it. Now let's look at some other methods that are available. So the whole program, this whole program is written about methods in strings. I'll complete it and then give you a break, okay? And then we'll do regular expressions which are a little tough after the break. Okay, so let's see. The starts with and the ends with methods are available. Now, I've written hard-coded data right here. I'm only checking this for hello world. I could have taken a variable, put hello world in it, and then if I wanted to change it to Anju Chawla or today is Tuesday or it is the month of July, I could just change it. But now I'm only doing this to show you. Does hello world start with hello? Yes, it does. So it should give me true. So notice how I have used it. The string object. Now my string object is not a variable. It is a hard-coded string literal. They are called literals. Dot. The name of the method. And what are you checking? Does it start with hello? So string object dot the name of the method and the argument. Right? So if you kind of think of it, how have you used it? So you've taken a string. The string could be a literal, the string could be a variable. Dot. Then you use the name of the method. And then you may pass it parameters. Now there may or may not be parameters, but that's how you do it. String dot the name of the method and any parameters if it requires it. If it doesn't require it, then you don't have to. So there are some methods that don't require a parameter. Then all you do is opening bracket and closing bracket. You just did it. Is alpha, is decimal. Did they require anything in the bracket? No. But this one requires, so I've said string. Now this string can be a string literal. This is called a literal. What you see is what it is. Hello world. It's called a literal. As you see it. Or you could have used a string variable also. I could have just put hello world in a variable. Like here, I could have taken a variable, call it anything. I'll call it message. I could have put it in a variable. And in strings also, you can use double quotes just for your information. I'll exactly do what I've written, okay? Here. And now I could do this like this also. I could say print and instead of this literal, what will I say? Message here. Does it start with hello? It should say true. Why did I do this here? So that you could see what I was checking and say, will it give true or false? Then it's easy to see because I'm trying to show you. But this is possible. You can do it this way also. The string and the string can be a literal or it can be an object. Right? So it can be a string literal or a string object. You can say type if you like. You can say variable if it makes more sense. In the long run, we call them objects. And let's see if this works. So we are trying to see the answers of these. And the print statements itself will tell me whether my answers are wrong or right. Okay, let's run them. So now I'm looking at the starts with and the ends with methods. So let's concentrate on, oh, this is a positive, oh, this is the input. So I'll just go, oh, this is not very helpful. True, false, true, false. What is true, false? Outputs are not very good. So to change my outputs, I'll have to kind of put a message here. See, it says it is true. So if you kind of look at the answers will match. Except that the answers are not very helpful. But of course, they're right. 12 and 1 to QW or whatever. Okay, so let's look at it. The print statements are not very helpful, but we have to match them. Let's see. Does hello world, does message start with hello? True, right? Does hello world start with hello? True. Does hello world end with world and a semicolon, the whole thing? That's what it ends with, right? True. Does ABC123 start with ABCDF? False. Does hello world start with hello world? Oh, sorry. Does ABC123 ends with 12? No, it ends with 1, 2, 3. Right? You have to give everything. You could have said, here is an example. Does hello world start with hello world? Of course, it starts with hello world. I mean, the whole thing. True. And then lastly, does hello world end with hello world? Yes, it ends with hello world. So you can give the whole string if you want, of course. Anju Chawla starts with Anju. Anju Chawla starts with Anju Chawla also. Anju Chawla ends with Chawla and Anju Chawla ends with Anju Chawla also. But 1, 2, 3 does not end with 1, 2. It ends with 1, 2, 3. Right? So the true falses are right, except that I should have said hello world starts with hello, true, false, and so on. Because it's kind of difficult, but the matching has to be done. So if I really wanted to show the message, I would have said something like this. I would have kind of gone hello world starts with hello, true, false, true, false, true, false. And it's as easy as this. Like I have put it in message now, but if I wanted to, I would say hello world starts with hello. Here. And a comma and use the function. Now it will say hello world starts with hello, true, false, true, false. So you can kind of take this message. Remember, outputs should always be neat. Put a comma here, and here we are checking ends with. And we are checking that it ends with world. Now here again, I'll take the message, put a comma, and I'll say ABC 1, 2, 3. And it's a string. starts with ABCDF. Of course, it will be false. Right here, I'll say this thing. So it will also give me the message now, and then I don't have to double check with my program. ABC ends with. Of course, it doesn't end with 12. It ends with 1, 2, 3. So I should get a false. And here again, starts with hello world. So I'll take this message and I'll put it here. The use of this is, I'll just show you the use. Just true or false on the screen make no sense. But now it will make sense with messages. So I put the message right there. So see how, I mean, if I had the variable, I didn't have to keep doing this. But anyway. Okay, here, let's run it again. If I haven't made any syntax errors, we should be fine. Here. Now you don't have to kind of refer to anything. The answer will come on its own. So positive number for your age 12, AS. Here is your output. There is a true which doesn't work, but here it is. Here are your answers. Now you can check your answers right in the output. Hello world starts with hello, true. Hello world ends with world, true. ABC 1, 2, 3 starts with ABCDF, false. ABC 1, 2, 3 ends with 12, no, false. Hello world starts with hello world, true. Hello world ends with hello world, true. Now you can see your answers. So therefore I always say your output should be clear. So in the first case, I forgot to make it clear, which is okay. I mean, whatever it is. So here also I should say message starts with, I'll show the message and I'll say starts with hello. If you tell the user everything, then the user doesn't need your help to do anything. It's right there. Your answers are right there. And it looks neat and clean. Everything looks neat and clean. This true was looking odd. I changed that too. I've changed it. It will now say it in a message. It will say hello world starts with hello. And then it will tell you yes or true or false. And again, you can always say a colon after it. Put a colon, give a space. Put a colon, give a space. Now, when you write programs for the first time, like I do in class with you, now this was a program that was already written, so it doesn't have syntax errors or anything. But when you write programs for the first time, wherever it may be, anywhere, you will always make some mistakes, small or big. That's not a big deal. You just rectify them. See, oh look, it wasn't looking so neat. Now it will look neat. I put a colon, I put a blank. I put a colon, I put a blank. Now you know the starts with and ends with methods also in the string class. Or let's say for the string type. I'll call it string type. Now come the join and the split methods. This may take a little while. You know what? Let's take a break. We are left with the join and the split methods. So we've done so many things in the string. We've done so many methods. Lower, upper, is lower, is alpha, is alphanumeric. I mean, there's no end to it. And again, I repeat, I can do all of them. But even if I do some of them, you should know how to do the rest of them. Like, you're not in kindergarten. Yes, you're in kindergarten of programming. But if I've done 10, you should be able to do 2 more. Name of the string or the string itself, dot, the name of it. Does it need any parameters? Does it not need any? If it returns a true value, or does it return another string? Slicing returns strings. Boolean, some functions, some methods return true or false. You say, how do I find all this? It's in your manual. Go to string methods, and the whole list will come for you. It's on the online book that is your textbook. I don't know how many of you have even read it. There are practice questions in each of those chapters. They're good practice questions. Have you practiced them? I don't know. Right? So at the end of the day, you have to practice them. So the changes I'm making, I'll put it back on Blackboard again, because I mean, we did make a few changes just for the heck of it. As I read it, I said, oh, this will also help students to understand it better. Okay, so I'll put this back on Blackboard. Take a 20-minute break, guys, and then we'll continue to work on this. So keep in mind that you will prepare these string functions from a quiz point of view now. I'll create a quiz for you, okay, which you will do in class, of course. If I let you take it home, then again I'll have a lot of problems. So it will be in class. It will be today? No, not today. Not today. The in-class assignment will be the in-class quiz now next week. I'll give you a week to go over it. So you'll do it today. You have a week to go over these topics, and then you'll come back and do the quiz. Okay? What's your name? Rupinder. I think you're the only girl left in my class, if I'm not mistaken. Vinder, weren't you supposed to come and see me for your assignment too? You haven't come, right?
I'm working on it. I'll come.
But it was last week. I have to submit those forms, right? And you know what? Not coming won't help. I mean, if you don't come, doesn't mean it won't go further. I mean, if you're in the course and you want to work hard and you are, then it's better that you talk to me, right?
I want to ask that we will use anti-dictionary in it, or we have to give the values and keys?
In the assignment, you're using a dictionary data structure.
Yes. And we have to give the keys and values, or use anti-dictionary?
You start with an empty dictionary, then you ask the user for the student number, that becomes your key, and then you ask for the marks for the student, those become your list, and that's your value. So the key is the string, the student number, and the value is a list of marks. So you keep asking this for students and keep updating your dictionary. Like you append in a list, you update a dictionary. Right? There's a method called update. We did it last week. Were you here last week when I did it? Yeah.
हेलो। हाँ हाँ, क्लास में हो, ब्रेक पे हूँ 5 मिनट की। सब ठीक है? हाँ, मैं कॉल करती हूँ तुझे, ठीक है? ये क्लास खत्म होती है तो फिर कॉल करेंगे। सब कुछ ठीक है घर में? अच्छा ठीक है। कुछ घर का हुआ है? हल्का वो 1-2 बारी हुआ था ना, वो तेरे को बताया तो था, फिर एडविल ली थी। कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है। मैंने स्टूल टेस्ट दिया दोबारा कल, लेकिन अब थक जाती हूँ हल्का, उससे मुझे लगता है थकान से हो जाता है। अच्छा, तेरी अन्नू से बात हुई थी अभी? अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है? अन्नू को क्यों किया था? ठीक है ना? अच्छा 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 अच्छा, डैडी से? अच्छा 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 अच्छा, तो तूने बता दिया कि 1 महीना बंद कर दो? तूने मुझे कहा था ना बोलने को, मेरी बात ही नहीं हुई उनसे एक्चुअली, टाइम ही नहीं मिला बात करने के लिए। अच्छा, मैं अब उनको लिख देती हूँ कि 1 महीना बंद कर देना अभी दवाई। चल ठीक है, मैं तेरे को थोड़ी देर में करती हूँ, 2 घंटे तक, ठीक है? ठीक है, ओके ओके, बाय बाय। Okay, guys, let's move forward. Let's at least finish this because regular expressions will take a while.
There's something which are kind of rich and very good, but do require some work. Okay, let's look at the last. Oops. Let's look at the last two methods that I want to do with strings, the join and the split. And as the name suggests, join means you're joining strings and split means you're taking like a bigger string and splitting it into words, right? It becomes a list actually. Okay, let's look at it. So the join and split methods, join is called on a string value and is passed a list of values. So it wasn't much. I'll leave it there where it was. Let's look at examples. Very simple ones first, and then the use. I've taken a join string and I've assigned it this. I said join this list. So see what the join method takes. The parameter of the join method is a list. So this is a list is passed. So that's what I meant by saying and is passed a list. So let's not say value, let's say list. Just list. Right? So the join method is called on a string. You're calling it on a string. This is the string you're calling it on. It could be a string variable. It could be a string of type. Okay, you're calling it on a string. And the parameter of the join. So the join starts with an opening bracket, closing bracket. Every method starts with an opening bracket and a closing bracket. Keep that in mind. And it needs one parameter, and that parameter must be of type list. That's what it means saying that the join is called on a string value and is passed a list. So what is it called on? This. And what is it passed as a parameter? A list of values. So when a list of values is passed, let's see what the value will be. I've joined it with a comma. You can join it with anything you like. So notice here, my name is Anju is a list, and I can join it with a blank if I want, or with a comma or whatever. Let's see the answers of this. You can insert something between the words. So if I have my name is Anju and I want to join it with ABC in between, which is very odd, but it can join it with ABC, right? So let's now look at the output of the join statements. And because this is right in between. Okay, so let's look at join. When I join the list with commas, this is what I get. You say, what's the difference? You had a list which had cats, rats, and bats in it, and now you have the same thing. But now I've converted a list into a string. I had a list of words, and I've converted into a string. So it has taken whatever was in the list and made a string out of it. This is a string now. What you see is now a string. The other one was my name is Anju, and then I told it that I'm joining it on with the take the list and remove the comma. In this one, I said put ABC in between. So notice how like it's kind of odd, but it's put ABC in between, and it's joined everything in the list with putting ABC in it. Okay, this is what join does. So it converts a list into a string in a way. And you can put whatever you like inside between the words. So you can put commas. I put commas here. I put a blank here. I put ABC here. So let's go back to the code again to see how what join is doing. So look at the first one. I'm joining the elements with a comma. So this is a comma, right? Oh, sorry, this comment is wrong. I'm joining the elements with a blank, with a space. Sorry, the comment is wrong. And notice how I joined it. I took a space and I did a join. Again, to show you, you can put it in a variable if you like I did with join string, or you can call the method right here itself. So what do you want to put between the elements of the list is your first parameter. What do I want to put between the elements of my list? A space. What is my list? This is my list. So my name is Anju will become a sentence. Right? So you have a list of elements. Remember, a list of elements is always separated by comma. You can take the comma off, put a blank, you can put ABC, you can put slash, you can put whatever you like. You can put any string you like. And it converts the list into a string. Handy, right? Why? Because things may be saved in a list. You just want to convert them into strings, pick them up, use the join method, and it becomes a string. So every method has a purpose, and this purpose may not be as obvious when you do it, but you may need it when you basically write a program. Like the assignment also, I said, keep running the program till you enter end in capital. So you take the input from the user enters end in any case, uppercase, lowercase, mixed case. You convert it into uppercase by using the upper function. And in your loop, you write while confirm is not equal to the not equal sign end in capital, because that's what I've said. The program must end when the user enters end in any case. So the user may be entering it in any case. And remember, if it was not that, think of how many ends can I write. Think of it. This is 1. This is 2. And you'll say, oh, that's all. I can compare if it is not equal to this or not equal to this. But what about this? That's also an end. Or what about this? That's also an end. So the user may enter end in any form, but you can write saying, oh, are you this or this or this or this? So what will be your loop? Your loop will be while. So you take the input in confirm, for example. You ask the input in confirm. Do you want to whatever, whatever? Or start with a variable. Automatically start with a variable. You want to run the program at least once. Assuming you want to run the program at least once. You take your confirm, assign it the value, whatever you like, small end or capital N, really doesn't matter. And then you say while confirm is not equal to end, let's say. We are doing it in small. So let's put here begin. Okay, so confirm, I've given it a word, I've given it begin to start. And then of course the while loop will enter because it is not equal to end. And towards the end of the while loop, wherever, whatever, you'll ask the user again. You will say, do you want to run again? So you will take the input. You will say, do you wish to run program again? Whatever your question is, right? And then because you are comparing it with all small end, whatever the user enters, whether it was small end, big end, whatever, you take your confirm and convert it into lower. And so irrespective of what the user enters, it will be converted into all lower, and you're always comparing it with small. That is where it will come handy. If it was a capital END here you were comparing with, then you would say upper here. So string functions can be used anywhere, right? But the thing is you should know them. So you begin, you can call it start, begin, continue, undo, anything will do. As long as this is not end, it will start. And then at the end, you ask the user, do you want to do it again? The user may say no, but this program only ends if the user says end. So therefore, I've said that and you tell the user to quit, please enter end, so that the user knows how to quit the program. That's your outer loop. That will make your program run as many times as you want till the user enters a end. And because the user can enter end in any form, you convert it into all lower, compare it against END. If you want to compare against capital END, convert it into upper. Right? Similarly with student number. If your student number has ABCs, letters in it, take it, convert it into all upper and save it in your dictionary so that student number S1234 in small should be equal to S1234 in capital. Otherwise it won't. Otherwise they won't match. To make them match, take the student number from the user and again convert it into all upper or all lower and then save it in the dictionary. Because I've said once a student number is in the dictionary, you should not be able to enter it again. So that way, because strings are case sensitive, undo in small is not the same as undo in capital. So when you work with strings, it's a good programming practice to either convert it all into lower or all into upper and then work with it. That way you are kind of taking care that checkings will be done properly. And I repeat, guys, if writing functions is creating a problem for you, don't write it. Just write top to bottom. You will lose some marks, but your program will still work. It will do what all is required. I asked you to write functions because I've taught you functions. Because at the end of the day, you won't write thousands of lines of programs and copy, copy, copy where you need it. You'll put it in a box and you will say, box, do it for me. It's like pressing the play button. Play, play, play. But again, if you're having difficulty and you can't handle it, just write a top to bottom program. I don't mind it. You're still doing it. You just don't know how to write functions. Maybe you just didn't get it. Anyway, so that's the join. Make sense? So join works on a string. Definitely it works on a string, right? It takes a parameter. That parameter is a list. And what does it do? It takes the elements of the list and joins them using the string that you've given. You'll say it already has commas. Why did you use a comma? Use a semicolon. I was just giving an example. Here I gave a space here. Join the list. My name is Anju. And remember, elements of a list will always be separated by a comma. So if I want to make a string out of it and write it in normal English, my blank name is Anju. I join it using a blank. That's your join method, right? So here I've inserted A, B, C in between it, whatever it be, but I can do it. So sometimes elements of you already have a list and you want to put something in between all the elements and make a string out of it, use the join method. You know it is available. Now the split method is opposite. It takes a string and splits it up. So if I say my name is Anju, it will break it up. My will become one, name will become another, Anju will become another, and Chawla will become another. What is it called? How does it work? It's called on a string value and returns a list of values. So it's opposite. It is called on a string and it converts it into a list. So see what I've done. I've taken split function to make a list from a string. So I've taken my name is, instead of Simon, I'll go Anju. Right? I've taken a string, my name is Anju, and I've split it on blank. I've split it up. Right? So what will it split it up on? Blank. So wherever it finds a blank, it will split. So my will become a word, name will become another word, is will become another word. So split has taken nothing. If it has taken nothing, it will split it on white space characters. Tab, space, new line, automatically. But if you want to split it on something else, like this one. So it says, take this string. Take this string, my ABC, name ABC, is ABC, Anju, and split it on ABC. What will it do? My will become one word. Sorry? I said it's going to split on ABC because you're just defining a delimiter. Yep, you're just defining a delimiter. By default, the delimiter is space, tab, new line. But if you don't give, see here, notice this one, I'm splitting it on M. So wherever there is a small m, case sensitive, wherever there is a small m, so I change my name because I wanted to show you the Emma will split, it will be A and then an A again. So let's see what, so here, I kind of gave you the answer right here. Let me remove this, sorry. Remove it. Now let's see how split works. So we've written 3 split functions. Here, there are 3 split functions. Actually, I think there are 4. There is another one. Here, I've split it on new line also. So I've written a message here, a big message, using my triple quotes. You can use triple quotes, assign it to a variable, and then as I said, you can write multi-line messages. Let's see what these splittings are doing. One, I've split it on nothing, so it's a space. Another one, I've split it on ABC. The third one, I've split it on M. And the fourth one, I've split it on new line. They will all do what they have to do. The first one, my name is Anju, will become a list with 4. My name is Anju. This one will also have 4 elements. My name is Anju. This one, let's see how many. Because the splitting is on M. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's save it and let's do an F5. And your age is coming here. And here. Okay, so split here. Let's split it. These are my 4 splits I did. Okay, so see, the first one, my blank name blank is Anju has become my name is Anju in a list. The second one, there was an ABC in between, has again become 4 words. My name is Anju. The next one is a little kind of, this was my name is Emma. So my becomes 1 word. Oh no, where it is? Here it is. My name, M, it split on M. Wherever it found an M, M is the delimiter. It broke. So my blank NA became 1 word. After that, it was M. M is your splitting character. M's gone. Then it started with E is Emma. After the A again found an M. It split it, right? It isn't included. Where is this empty M coming from? Oh, because there was a second M in Emma, MMA. So now it didn't find anything, so it gave an empty string. And then the last A of Emma was the A, so it split. That's what a split does. Again, handy. You have a big message you want, and look at this one. It was a whole message which was written in different lines. It created a list out of it. Wherever it found a new line, what is a new line? Return character. So notice, where are my return characters? There, it starts with Dear Alice. After fine, after fridge. I mean, wherever you have a new line character, it will split it on it. It is splitting it on new line character. So Dear Alice will be 1 word. How have you been? I am fine will be 1 word, and so on and so forth. So if we go back here, look at your elements of your list. If I can show you 1, the rest are okay. See here, Dear Alice becomes 1 with the comma. It split. How have you been? There were blanks before that. I am fine. Split again. So wherever there was a new line character, it split on that. So you have a long multi-line message. You just want to put them in different lines, split it on new line. Handy, it will again come handy. So this is the split function. So join joins list elements into a string, and split takes a string and splits it apart. And you can split it on any delimiter. By default, the delimiter is blank, tab, new line. By default, okay? They are called the white space characters. And I think I've mentioned it here. Space, tab, or the new line characters are found, wherever they are found. Actually, I needn't have done it here. I could have, but I have to mention it. Otherwise, it just takes space by default. So you can say split on ABC, split on M, split on this, split on that. So again, if I wanted to write split my name is Anju, then I would have said split my name is Anju, so that you can see the answer. It's just kind of splitting it, okay? So that's splitting. If you find it, if you need it somewhere, why not? Now let's come to the last ones. Right, no, there are 2 more, I think. There's another one, strip. Yes. There is R just for right justified. There is L just for left justified. And there is a center for center. What do they do? Let me show you what do they do. Look what I've done. I've taken the word hello and I have used, look how I've used it. Look at the way I've used it. Name of the string dot name of the method. Now, instead of the name, I've taken the word hello. What am I saying? I'm saying put hello in 10 columns and justify it towards the right. So how much is hello? 5 words. How many blanks before hello? You'll get 5 blanks before hello. It is given a total of 10 columns. Hello is given 10 columns, but hello is only 5 in length, and it will be pushed on the right hand side, and there will be 5 blanks before the hello. When will it come handy? When you want to make a tabular structure. Then it comes handy. Look at the second one. I've put it in 20 columns. The word hello in 20 columns, but again, right justified. So how many blanks before the hello? 15 blanks, because hello is only 5. You can justify it with star also. So you can put stars instead of blanks. You can put dashes instead of blanks. Whatever you like, you can fill it up with anything. What does left justify do? Left justify will put it towards the left. And what will center do? Center will put it right in the center. So 20 I have given in total. Hello will come in the center, and in front of it and at the back of it, it will be filled by equal sign. But the total size will be 20. So they come very handy when you want to make headings or titles. Remember how I say print and I push dash, 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 and then I say something to make it a little cleaner? You can now do it with this. Try it, see how it works. And I'll show you. So it's called L-just, R-just center. And I'll show you. See here, let's start from here. Counting the blanks is not easy, but there are 5 blanks before this because it was 10. There are 15, but this is handy. This is good. So I should be putting a colon. I gave it a total of 20. This was a total of 20. Hello takes how much? 5. How many stars should I have? 15. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the stars you can count, the blanks you cannot count. But they come back. Look at the center one. Now this equal is before the message. I should put a colon here. This is hello. It has been centered in a size of 20 characters. Very handy. You don't have to count or anything. You just want to say, oh, I want to show a table. And it comes very handy if you want to show a table. So for example, you want to say name of the student or student number. This is a heading you want to give. And then you want to show his average mark. You can make this heading using your functions, right? You can do a centering or whatever. And then the student number comes here. His average marks comes here or whatever. Keep in mind in the assignment, I need 2 places after decimal. The round function sometimes will only give 1. Suppose 10 divided by 5 is 2. It will only put 2.0. I want 2 places always after decimal. So you'll have to look up formatting of strings. So research a little on it. It's very easy, but research a little on it. And the Wednesday section did it. They asked me and I kind of hinted it on it. So if you want it, it's in an example in the Wednesday section. Okay, rounding will not work. It will not always show 2 places of decimal. It only shows 2 places of decimal if you have more. If you have less, then it will show less. So this is another thing. So these are coming, they're looking a little odd because I didn't put a colon after it. Therefore, they seem like, oh, they are a part of it. So when I say write justifying in 10 character in 20, padding with, I'll put a colon here. Then it will kind of give me some space. This was showing you with what am I padding it here. Now you can count, and the count, I was doing the right count. So that's padding. It's called, and the other advantage is you can put it on the right, you can put it on the left, or you can put it in the center. So therefore the functions, the methods are called L-just for left justified, R-just for right justified, and center for center. By default, a string always comes left justified. When you print something, it just starts from the first column. You can make it on the right hand side also. And these are very helpful when you want to make headings. They come very handy. I can write one print statement. I can say justify this towards the right in 15 columns. Then justify average mark again towards the right in 15 columns. Kind of, I can adjust it. I mean, it's not easy that you'll do it the first time and it will be right, but with a little help, it can work. With a little practice. So that's what justified. R-just, L-just, and center. Okay, now let's look at how do you strip something. So extra blanks in the front, at the back, only on the right, only on the left. So the functions are called strip, and the use is removing white space characters. What are white space characters? Blanks, tabs, and new lines are white space characters. So you can remove white space characters by using R strip if you only want to remove from the right, L strip if you want to remove only from the left, and strip if you want to remove from right and left. So what did I do? I took a message here, hello world, and it has some extra blanks, both on left and right. I printed it out for you so that you could see it. Actually, you can't see the blanks after it. Then I'm going to strip leading and trailing blanks. So I strip it. You will only see hello world. I'm only stripping it on the left. So this will go. These will go. And then I'm only stripping it on the right. So these will go. You'll say, how will I know? I can't see blanks anyway. Let's do something. What can I do? I can print the length. Remember the length function of the list? Print the length, or let's say it in more English like, message has these many characters. So has, what was it called? length, I think it was called length, dot length. This will prove it to you that it works. Okay, so let's print this. I don't know how many do we have. I can't count even. Let's do the counting then. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then comes the word hello world, and I'll put 5 after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 blanks, and how much is hello world? 10 and 5 is 15. 15 and 6 is 21. 22 in all. It's 22. The whole thing, the whole message is 22 in size from quote to quote. So when I print this, it will say 22. Okay, now when I strip the leading and trailing blanks, I must be only left with how much? 5 and 6, 11 and 1, 12. So show the length. So show the strip and show the length. Strip leading and trailing blanks in message, leaving how many? So again, show the length again. Show the length again. You will know that it is working. So now it should only say how much? Hello is 5, world is 6. 6 and 5 is 11 and 1 are 12. Left strip it, how many must you have? And right strip it, how many must you have? Then we will know it's working. Okay, so the total now is 10 and 12, 22. 5 blanks before, 5 blanks after is 10. And the word hello world itself is 12, right? Hello is 5, blank, and then world is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11 in all. Okay, let's see what it does. Uh-oh, forgot my closing bracket somewhere. Where did I forget it? In characters here. Forgot to close this. I copied it, so forgot to close it here. Copied it. See here. Here is a poor example of if I had put it in a function, I would have to make the change only at one place. Therefore, you don't copy and paste. You write a function and say you do the job. So mistakes if mistakes are done, they're only at one place, though it's a single line. Okay, so now let's look at it. Oh, that age thing. Okay, where it is here. Let's see. No, not here. Oh, some error occurred. Uh-oh. Some error occurred after centering hello. So let's look at the code. Where is the error? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rupinder. Is it len or is it length with the message? Okay, so we have to be careful now. Is it a function or is it a... Oh, it's a function. There. It's not a method, it's a function. See the difference between the function and a method. It's no dot, there is no dot notation. Thank you. I made a mistake because we were doing methods all the time. I just kind of did length as if it was a method. There. So length is a function. It doesn't have that dot notation. It's just name of the function and parameter. So that was my error. So it said some error occurred. If I don't know which error, I mean, it should have said, I think it would have given something like name not found. Length was something like that. But at least it said some error occurred, which is not a very good message, but better than nothing. Okay, so my age here and my name here. Here, now notice, where are we? There is the message, hello world. Okay, strip leading and beginning mag. I'm going to strip them. How many total does it has? 21 characters. That's what we counted, right? After I strip leading blanks, I should be left with how many? These were 11 and still 21. Oh, now you tell me why is it still saying 21? Because all I did was I just showed it. I didn't assign it to anything. I'm just showing how many. So if you want to really change it, you'll have to assign it to a variable and change it. Otherwise, message doesn't change. All it is doing is removing it. It's not changing it. So it will always show 21, right? Okay, so now to prove to you, we have to do something else now. What? Oh God. Anyway, that's not a big deal, but we still have to do it. Strip leading and trailing blanks, and that's, so now I'll make a note for you. Messages cannot be changed in place. Strings cannot be changed in place. right? So every time, all it does is when you say strip, it will remove it. But if you really want to strip it, we can call it strip message, but there are 3 of them. So I was just kind of thinking, what should I call them? I'll say strip message and I'll strip it. And now whose length do I want to show? The strip message length. Right? Okay. The second one will take, I'm going to do a left strip. So let's say L strip message. And this is just to show you that it works. Okay. So I'm going to take the message again and I'm going to perform L strip on it. And here I have to show L strip message length. Now that extra blanks, I think length returns a value of certain size and that's why it was coming. So here now you can leave it at message strip and it will work and show you the right answer. But actually, if you want, you can say strip message here now because you've already done it. Move the L from here. And we'll take a third one. We'll call it R strip message. You don't have to assign it. I repeat, you don't have to assign it. But strings cannot be changed in place for sure. You can put them in the same one if you like. There. Now what will happen? It will show you the message and it will say message has these many characters. And then it will show you the message. Of course, blanks cannot be done. Then I'm stripping it. And then I'm showing you the strip message and I'm showing you how many in the strip message. Then I L strip the message. See, nowhere have I changed my message anywhere. My message remains what it is. I strip it and put it in a new variable. Strings cannot be changed in place. You have to assign them to a variable to change it, right? Now let's try again and let's try again and let's try again to see if the answers are right. Okay, so here, where are we? Here. So we started with this message. Hello world has 21, right? And that is the message. Kind of looks odd because I don't know why it's doing what it is doing, but we'll look at it. Why is it starting? Why is it leaving so many blanks? Because the original message has 5 blanks in front of it. So we started with 21. When I stripped the messages blanks on both sides, how many was I left with? 11. When I'm only stripping 5 blanks, I'm left with 16. When I'm only stripping 5 blanks, I'm left with 16. So they remove the blanks if you assign it to something. If you do not assign it to something, then you basically are just printing the message and the original doesn't change. It doesn't change. And this is called that strings are immutable, for your information. It's a technical term, it's a programming term, but they are immutable. They cannot be changed in place. So if you only wanted to print it out, perfectly fine, no problem. You could have. But if you want to change it, then you have to put it into a new variable or the same variable, whatever works for you. Right? But I put it in a new variable because I didn't want to change my message variable. So let's see. So I took a message, hello world, and I said it has 21 characters. I showed the message on the screen, and now I'm stripping. I stripped it, and after I stripped it, I put it in strip message. So we'll have to take this one. So this one now has Control V. It has 11. This one was called left strip, only has 21. Oh, sorry, 16. And this one was called right strip, and this one only has 16. But message at the end of the day will still have 21 because I didn't change it. If you really wanted to change it, if you really wanted to change message, then you'll have to do something like this. You take the message, strip it, and put it back. You can do this. This is perfectly fine. You strip it and put it back if you want to change message. But automatically just saying message.strip doesn't remove them. You have to kind of assign it to a new string variable or the same variable, whatever you like. Keep that in mind. Strings are immutable. They cannot be changed in place. Okay. So therefore, and to show you that it works, I created new variables. Though before what I was doing was I was just showing you the message. And I can do that. This is what I was doing before. I was just using the function right here. I was just using it right here. But then there was no way of kind of showing you that, oh, it has how were blanks removed or not. So you can still show them for printing purposes and use in a print also. Like you can use it directly. Nobody stops you if you don't want to change a message. It depends on what you want to do. So here I did an else strip, but if I wanted, I could have done the same thing here. I could have taken this print statement. Let's take this and I'll show you that just to show you that it's possible. You don't have to. So here instead of else strip, I'll say else strip here. And I'll do the same thing here for write strip also, if you want to use it in a print statement. So now it will occur twice, okay? The same messages will occur twice. But if you really want to change the message in place and assign it back, then you will have to do it this way. Because strings are immutable. So let's try that. So my age and the password. See, 2 of each now. Just because I did it both ways. I did it both ways. But in one, oh, I still am saying there is a message which still say hello world has 16 characters. So notice this is 16 characters, though you cannot, mathematically we've counted them. We have counted them. So there are blanks before the right strip one. There are blanks after the left strip one, which we can't see. But this, putting it into a variable and showing it or doing it right in place is no different, except in one case you have created a new variable and in the other case you are just printing it. So you don't change message. But after this statement, message will change. Now if you try to print message, it will definitely change. So if you now print message, it's just hello world, nothing else. Now it will change, of course. See, now it has changed. Because you changed it in place. So that's simple. L strip, R strip, strip. R just, L just, center. Is alpha, is decimal, and so on. And you don't have to memorize these methods, guys. You can put it on a piece of paper for your quiz. And as I said, you can take a printout of my program if you want, but if you haven't gone through the program before, then at that time you won't have time to go through it. Because it will be 1 minute per question is the maximum that is given in multiple choice, true, false kind of stuff. That's the disadvantage of doing those things. To me, they are. But string functions are something that can be tested that way. Right? So come prepared with them. And now the last one. I'm just showing you a different answer. I'm just showing you a different example, still using strip, but this was very, very interesting. When I say I want to strip the word spam from my message, and notice how many times spam is occurring. We have spam, spam, bacon spam, egg spam, spam. There are many spams in there. There are various ways of writing it. I can strip leading and trailing spams in message by saying spam in any form I want. I can say spam, I can say AMPS, I can say PMAS. All I'm saying is which 4 characters together have to be removed. That's what I'm saying. And I found this interesting because I haven't seen it in any other language. If you want to remove something, you just say what you want to remove, this substring. But this one was interesting. So though I want to remove spam, so notice I've said in my notes, you can say AMPS, it will do the same thing as maps, it will do the same thing as spam. They all do the same thing. The word spam is gone. So what it is looking for, the occurrences of A, M, P, and capital S from the ends of the string stored in the message. That's what it will remove. So if you have a small a small m, a small p, and a capital S at either ends, it will remove those characters. So even if I didn't have the whole word spam, the PAM will be removed because P, A, M, and S, right? So let's try this. So, I mean, this was really, I mean, as I said, I haven't seen it in any other programming language. So I was a little saying, oh, that's odd, but uh-oh. When you don't see the whole thing, then you just kind of, okay. It's very difficult to see the whole, okay. See what remains. The spam in the middle won't go. It's only leading and trailing. Split only, oh, sorry. Strip only removes the leading and the trailing blanks or whatever you want. So you could, so instead of blanks, if you wanted to remove stars or question marks or whatever, you can remove anything. So normal strip without a parameter will remove blanks, and you can now give it parameters if you like. And any one of them, like not, I mean, I can remove the word from here, I can remove the S, and the PAM will also go. So P, A, M, and capital S. Anytime, anywhere beginning or end will be removed. But the word in between will not be removed. That spam in the middle cannot be removed. Strip only removes it from the ends. Very interesting, right? That means you can remove any of these characters. So instead of doing it 4 times, remove A, remove M. I don't know what order they are in. They could be MAPS, they could be SPAM, they could be PAMS, like anything. But I'm saying from this, I'm saying that remove the occurrence of any of these. If it is a capital S, a P, a A, or an M. So therefore, you can write it as AMPS, MAPS, spam, and there could be more also. I mean, there could be more also. I'm sure we can make up more. We can go PSAM. So there are 4, and imagine how many there can be. There are 4 letters. I have possible 4 into 3 into 2, 4 3s are 12. 24 possible combinations I can write for strip. Same thing like when you do your end that the user can give. So that's the split function. But the split function is not only strip function function is not only removing blanks, it can remove anything. And again, it comes handy. You have been sent, messages are being sent to you. It has extra blanks in front or back, whatever. You just remove them using the strip function. Or anything that is available will come handy one day or the other. You have to just keep your mind on it. That takes care of the string, methods, and one function length. The rest were all methods. Okay, are we okay with it? So your job for your next assignment is to go through this, practice it, and just write the names so that you know what each one does. You don't have to memorize. You'll be allowed a cheat sheet. You don't have to memorize. And this is chapter, I don't know, 6 or 7 in your online book. 6? Can say 6. So I've kind of summarized the chapter for you. So your job is just to go through it, and easy marks, right? Easy 5%. If I'm only doing quizzes after this, I may increase it to 10, but not less than 5%, I'm saying. So we've covered, I've already put it on Blackboard, but just so that you know, first assignment was 5, your second assignment was 10, then came the midterm, then the assignment that you're just doing, and then the final exam, of course, is set at 20. Right? The final exam is set at 20. So the total is 15 and 15 is 30 and 20 is 50 plus 20 is 70. We still have 30 in our hands. So, you know, at least try to score good in quizzes then. There will be a quiz on this. There will be a quiz on regular expressions also.
40% are quizzes.
I'm saying 20 for sure. I'm not saying everything of quizzes because I may get, when I teach, I may have, I mean, I can't give you a question on this. You know what I mean? I can make you write a program that uses all string functions. So this will do good as a quiz. Regular expressions will also do good as a quiz. So definitely 2 quizzes. Then we will see what's coming ahead. Okay, because I haven't done all of them and I don't know how much can I do because I'm behind my schedule. I'm going at least a week behind schedule, but whatever. Okay, so I'll replace this on Blackboard for you. So under your Tuesday programs, which is I'm going to replace this file. So I just put it for you when you started. I'll again kind of replace it. I'll overwrite it with the right file. So this file that was we just added a few things as we talked. Okay. So I'm going to just put this back on, where was it? In my programs. Okay. So I'm going to browse my computer and I'm going to give you another one also, just so that, where is it? Manipulating strings. Okay, you have the most recent one now. And in regular expressions, I'm going to just add another file. Please download that one also. My mistake, I just saw it afterwards. I gave you one already. I'm going to add another one. And then you will understand why regular expressions are useful. So here, there are 2 programs here, one that shows you the regular expressions and one that will make you appreciate why regular expressions are important. So now please open up is phone number first and then the regular expressions one. Let's talk about what are regular expressions and why do we need it. Some of you may have heard of it before, again, as I said, but if not, that's not a big deal. We'll talk about it. So I'm going to take my recent files and there it is phone number. Seems like the Chawla kind of missed out. Okay. What are regular expressions and how handy or useful they are? Believe, take my word for it. They are really very useful for data validation. For example, you are taking a student number or taking a phone number. Let's take a phone number because I've taken an example of a phone number. Now, phone numbers, I'm just assuming it in Canada, right? People can enter phone numbers in all forms. They can give all 10 digits together. Some may put area code in brackets and then dashes between the 3 parts, and so on and so forth, right? It could be anything. Now, if you want to validate a phone number, you will say, how will I validate it? I've written a program that is assuming that the phone number is given in the format 3 digits dash 3 digits dash 4 digits. I'm assuming. And for that itself, I have to write a program that is almost 15 lines of code. These 15 lines can be replaced by 1 line if I use regular expressions. That's how powerful regular expressions are. Okay? So first let's look at this one. So write code to match a phone number and the format I am using is this. So the phone number is digit, 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 dash, digit, 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 dash, digit, 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 digit. Okay, so that's the phone number pattern. Write code to match a phone number pattern, which looks like this. So the first thing, what's the size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm defining a function so that it's at one place. The first thing I check is the name of my function is phone number. I'm passing it some text. I call it text. You could call it anything. It's getting something. The first thing it does is it checks, is the length 12? If the length is not 12, it returns false. Job done. It's not a phone number. See how specific it is. The phone number, if I give my phone number in this format, it will work. If I remove the dashes in between, it will say it is not a phone number. Of course, hello is not a phone number and so on. But we'll first define a function. Again, what is a function? It is a piece of code that does a job. It may or may not take any parameters. It may or may not return anything. So this function that I've written here is taking a parameter Takes a single parameter of what type? What do you think the type is? String. It's a string type, right? Now, since Python is weakly typed, nowhere can I put string in front of it or anything. What do you, the parameter can be called anything. You could have called it phone number. I just said text. It's checking for any text. Okay, what do? The first thing I check is the length equal to 12? We just did the length function, right? Is the length of my text not equal to 12? If it is not equal to 12, it's not a phone number. Why? Because I'm being very specific. The phone number is in that format. Nothing else will do, which is not correct. I mean, there are many ways of doing it, right? And that's what we will learn. Okay, next, now what? The first 3 characters of my phone number should be a decimal. We just did the is decimal. So what am I doing? I'm picking up the first 3 in 0 to 3. So 0, 1, and 2. Remember how the for range works? 0, 1, and 2. So pick up 0, pick up 1, pick up 2. Is each one of them, if it is not a decimal, return false? So you're checking, is the first one, which is at position 0, is it a decimal? No, return false. It's not a phone number. If it is a decimal, it checks the second one. So if not text I is decimal. So you're using the not Boolean operator. Remember we did and, or, and not. And you're saying text I is decimal. If the whatever is the answer, you're doing a not of it. So it's like saying if not raining. Okay. So if not text I is decimal, return false. It's not a phone number. It has to be a decimal. Remember what was in decimal? Only digits from 0 to 9. Okay. Return false. Job done. If not, that means, oh, the first 3 are okay. So the size is 12 and the first 3 are digits. What is my next step? What should be your text 3? It should be a dash. If it is not a dash, return a false because it's not in the right format. And look, I'm doing this for everything. Now 4, 5, and 6 should again be 3 digits. Then I should again have a dash. Then 8, 9, and 10, sorry, 8, 9, 10, and 11. There are 4 now. 8, 9, 10, and 11 should again be a digit. If not, return a false. If all of this is okay, what should I return at the end? True. So look at the code I've written, and it is so specific. I exactly have to know it is of size 12. The first 3 digits, a dash, 3 digits, a dash, and then 4 digits. Quite a code to write. I mean, I would call it useless code because there are better ways of doing it. But the code is correct. There's nothing wrong in the code. It's just tedious. Now let's check if it works. I said is 705-728 is a phone number, and I'm checking because it's returning a true or false. We'll call that, we are calling that function, and we are passing this text to it. This is what I'm passing to it. That's the parameter that will go into text, right? So how do? I call the function. So I call the function, or we say invoke the function. And remember, what is the function doing? It takes a parameter of type string and it returns a Boolean value. What's a Boolean value? True or false. It may return a true or false. I don't know what it will return. It depends on what you're saying. So I'm going to call the function and check what is a phone number and what is not a phone number. We call it call or invoke the function. And which function are you invoking? The is phone number function. What are you passing it? A string. And what will you get back? True or false. So I print 705 is a phone number. What should it say? True, because it is in the right format. Hello is a phone number. I'm passing hello to it. We should come up with false. Now, look at something. If I have to look for all the phone numbers in a message. So suppose somebody sends you a message and now it's a big message, all phone numbers of people and they have their landlines and whatever. And now I want to extract all the phone numbers. Look at the code I have to write. I have to go through chunk by chunk. How much? 12 at a time. Are the first 12 a phone number? No. Are the next 12 a phone number? No. Are the next 12 a phone number? No. And so on. And I'll keep making chunks of 12, check it against the phone number and say, oh, you have a phone number, you are not a phone number, you are a phone number, you are not a phone number. To extract all phone numbers from this message. So what did I do? I created a for loop. I went till the length of the message. So this is my message. Whatever its length is, what does range do? 0 to length minus 1. I'm picking up. This is your slicing you just did in your strings. I pick up 12 at a time. I take that chunk and I pass it to the function. If the function returns true, I say, oh, I found a phone number. Otherwise, it won't say anything. You can say else, not a phone number. So it will find these two phone numbers for you. But imagine the time it will take. For such a small message, it is going to, how many chunks is it going to make? The first 12, then leave the C out, the next 12. Leave the A out, the next 12. Leave the L out, and so on. So it will make chunks of 12, and someday it will encounter this 12 chunk, and it will say, oh, that's a phone number. And notice it will then take the next chunk, which is this, which is not a phone number. So it's how inefficient this program is to find phone numbers in a code. Right? And I'll now show you how to do it using regular expressions. Okay? So this will work because I've written it and tested it. So is 705-728-1968 a phone number? Yes. Is hello a phone number? No. Phone number found? Yes, found. But if I start printing what is not a phone number here, you will see how many chunks there were, just to show it to you. You can show else, print. I'm going to take this message, repeat it here. And notice how many chunks there will be to find out two phone numbers. And I'll say not phone number. Not a phone number. And I'll show you the chunks. Look at the work that is being done. And here, try to remove this dash from here, and it will say it is not a phone number. It is so specific to this format. It won't. Let's see. Let's try. Let's do an F5. Okay. Now 705-728 is a phone number is coming to be false because I removed the dash from there. Hello, of course, was not a phone number, right? Now, not a phone number, call me at 7, what is this, 12? This is a chunk of 12. I picked up the first 12 characters, passed it to the phone number function. Now, if you did not have a function, you had to copy and paste that code. I see at least 50 times. I wrote a function, so the function is doing its job, right? I mean, it's doing its right job. That's not a phone number. That's not a phone number. But somewhere you will get a phone number. Here, you got a phone number here. Why wasn't this a phone number? There was a blank in front of it and 8 was missing. But here it found a phone number. So I wrote a function that is specifically looking for a 12-digit phone number exactly in the format 3-3-4. And you can do it. I did it. I mean, there's nothing wrong in it. It's just tedious and very specific. Very, very specific. If I could improve it, why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I do it is the big question. So I'll put my dash back because it was the right one. And I'll remove the else because I don't want to see the else, but I'll leave it for you. So you can appreciate the use of a function. So of this small message, see how small this message is. It's not a very big message. It had 50 chunks of 12. It's like end. The word end, if you start writing the word end, you will see the combinations. I write quit, it will become 24. I'll say something like continue, it will become 80. So you can't expect the user to write or the programmer to check every combination of end. Are you ENDing small, in caps, any combination, and you can't keep writing ORs. Therefore, we use string functions. Therefore, we use functions and methods. So I wrote a function. It's not the best of the function. It is only doing a specific job. But I call it as many number of times as I like. Therefore, we have to learn how to write functions. So you can remove the else, but the else tells you that it made so many efforts for that small message. It was almost called 50 times. I kind of didn't count it. I gave a rough idea. Let's say 30 times. Would you like to write that code 30 times in your program? No. You would like to give it a name, pass it a parameter, return, and let it do its job. Okay. This program must make you appreciate, oh, there are only 9 minutes, but that's okay. This program must make you appreciate that what are regular expressions. So I'm going to open that file for you. Of course, we won't have time, but that's okay. We can at least start. Seems like Anju Chawla with a small c, capital C was copied from the first one. So the first one must also have it. Okay, a few things. What is a regular expression? A regular expression is a combination of special characters which have a special meaning that allow you to match patterns in code. So you're looking for a pattern, you're looking for a 3-digit pattern, any 3 numbers. You can do it through this. You're looking for a pattern 3-3-3. You can do it through regular expression. You're looking for a pattern where you want to find out or count only vowels. You can use a regular expression, right? So a regular expression, it's called an expression because it is a combination of special characters that have a special meaning. And when you create a regular expression, you follow some steps, and then you take that regular expression and employ it on a string, a message, whatever it is. It could be thousands of words. The regular expression will work on that and will exactly extract what you want it to extract. Which means you have to learn how to write regular expressions. It's not tough, it's a little bit more tough than, because you're doing it now, you have to create it yourself. String functions or methods were created by somebody, you only know how to use them. Now your job is to know how to write a regular expression and how to use it. So regular expression is a huge thing in the programming world, but it makes life very easy. You can validate input to any extent. If you haven't validated your student number or names, I say give your name, I can enter Anju 123 comma question mark. Can names contain question marks and commas? No. But if I write a regular expression in which I say the name can only consist of letters and blank, then when you give me your input, I can say, validate it for me. It validates it. It says, no, that's not a valid email. Same for email. Same for student number. I just need to know the rule. So I know the rule of names. It is only letters, a blank, and some names have that apostrophe. Some names, O'Brien, for example, has apostrophe. I have to know the rules. To use or to create regular expression, there are 3 simple steps. 1. The first thing you have to do is you have to import a module called RE. Without that, you cannot create any regular expression. So that has to be imported. And then there are just 3 simple steps. You create a pattern object, which is the most tough. You create it. You have to think about it. Then you call the compile method. Notice how I've called the compile method to create it, and I create it. And then I just do a search on the string in which I have to match that. So I'll take the phone number that I just wrote, we'll just do that. Just do that, and then we'll come to the rest next week. Okay. How to create a regex pattern object. It's called regex for regular expression. Now this R is for raw string. Raw string means take the string as per se. The backslash is not a special character. Whatever I've written, you just assume that's what it is. If I hadn't written R and I wanted to write a slash, then to escape the slash, I would have to write another slash, because I want a slash. So regular expressions usually use slash many a times. So because they use slash many a times, I'm using R in front of it, and it means this is a raw string. Raw string means unformatted. Just take it at its face value. Now, what does it mean? Look at what it means. Backslash D means a digit. Another backslash D, another digit. Another digit, then a hyphen. 3 digits, a hyphen, and 3. This is a regular expression that will match a regular. That's the function that I just wrote. That's the regular expression for that function. How do I create a regular expression? Notice how do I create? I use the compile method of the RE package. So I've imported that module called RE. I call the compile method of that RE and I pass it the regular expression. You'll notice I've used the raw string everywhere because I don't want to keep escaping sequences. I'll be using dot, I'll be using quote, I'll be using many special characters to avoid putting a slash in front of each one of them to avoid the special meaning. I just put R and R means a raw string. Take it at its face value. Don't interpret anything. Then you save it in a variable, whatever variable you want to call it. I've called it phone number regex. And then now to check, all I did was I match it. So I take the regular expression, I call the search method, and I want to search a phone number in this message. And it comes, and I put it back in matched. If it is found, matched will not be none. If it is not found, it will be none. Otherwise, it will not be none. So simple. Look at it. We'll come back. This is very important, and I'll come back to it next week. First, create a regular expression, an object. I've created it. This is how you create it. RE dot compile and pass it a string. And that string is your regular expression. Save it in a variable. Call it whatever you like. It's good to call it something that makes sense. Phone number regex. Created, you have created your regular expression. So it's like creating that function that I just wrote, but in one line. I've created a function in one line. Now I want to check for a pattern. So I search it. So with that object, with that regex object, I use the search method and I'm searching it where? In this string. If I find that pattern, DDD dash DDD dash DDDD, it will return something to me in this variable called matched. If I cannot find it, it will return none. So what have I said? I said looking for phone number in this, and if I find it, if it is not equal to none, I say it, I found it, and I show it to you. And if I cannot find it, I'll say there is no phone number in my message. Right? So you'll say, what is this group? Group just gives the whole thing. Matched is actually an object, and the group will just give you it as a group. If I don't say group, you'll see what will happen. Give it a minute. Let me run it for you once. And then we'll come back to it. Okay, only first part. I'm only going to run the first part, okay? Here, let's see what happens. F5. Don't even pay attention to the rest. We'll go to the top of the here. This is the regular expression. I've shown you the regular expression I've used. What does \d stand for? A digit. So digit, 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 dash, digit, 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 dash, digit, 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 digit. So I'm saying I'm looking for a phone number here. Is there a phone number here? Yes, that matches the pattern. So now it says phone number found because I gave that message, but this message is not very, it's telling you where it found it. It found it starting from position 19 to 30. So to kind of avoid all these not so friendly, user-friendly message, though it has told you, I found a match. See here, I found a match, it says. To avoid this, there is a method called group, which I was using here. And it kind of shows it in a pretty manner. The group says, show me the whole group that you found. So instead of seeing all that untidy message, which is not wrong, it's right. For us, it is okay, but not to a normal user. Let's run it again. This chapter here, see. One line of code to create the regular expression works. Let's remove the dash. It will say that my phone number was not found. It will say phone number was no phone number was found. Why? Because the dash is missing. Where is it? Somewhere. Okay, let me kill this. Okay, so I want to say no phone number was found because it's not matching. I didn't match it, okay? Where is it looking for? Where is the search? I've removed the dash from the search. Okay, F5. Do you see the message? Because 705 without the dash does not match the regular expression. But what I'm trying to bring to you is one regular expression has replaced that function that I wrote. That function was at least 10 lines of code. So regular expressions are very important to understand and learn. And that will be our job next time. But please come prepared to do a quiz on strings. I'll put an announcement on Blackboard. There will be a half hour or 45 minutes. I can't say, it depends on how many questions I make. And that quiz will count towards your marks. We have 30 marks still to do. So if you're doing it well, I just give it more weighting. But minimum 5 is what I'm going at. I want to keep some marks in my hand for future. Right? So we'll do it for 5% for now. Okay? And if you don't do anything, we'll just go up. Okay? So please do them well. It's now all in your hands. I'll allow you a cheat sheet, 2 cheat sheets, 3 cheat sheets, doesn't matter to me. You work on it, you get things ready, come to class, do the quiz, 10 questions, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and that's it and done. You're done this chapter. Okay? So now this is another way of evaluation. A couple of students have complained that there is only one way of evaluation, writing a program. What else do you do in programming? You write programs. But anyway, that's okay. That's fine. It's everybody's perspective, right? Can change it. So this is on Blackboard for you guys. It's on Blackboard. Just go through it, revise it well, practice it, and you should be good for the quiz. Okay? And the announcement of quiz I'll put up tomorrow after I teach my other class. Otherwise, they'll panic. What is she talking about? Okay?
You're going to your office now?
Yes, I am.
Follow you.
Sure.
Okay, so the marking over for the assignment.